Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys is 2nd of June. It is second day of hurricane season. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but no specific bad news coming our way just yet. We are going to have a warm day, though. That humidity makes it feel pretty darn toasty, but a little bit of a cooling period, if you could call it that. High of 90 for today with a 10%, actually make that 30% chance of a shower. That might help with humidity just a bit. And it's 83 now, going to 81 tonight, 40% chance of a shower or a thunder shower. Wednesday, 60% chance of a shower, 88. Thursday, 70% chance of showers. Wow, look at that, 87 Thursday. It's going to be warm and wet Thursday and tapering off a little bit into Friday. Saturday looking pretty good. So that's what we're seeing so far. We're going to say good morning to Cynthia Guerra. She is Executive Director, Monroe County Land Authority. Good morning to you, Cynthia.
Good morning.
Hi there. Thanks for being here. Happy Tuesday morning to you. We're already almost midway through the year, and we do have some housekeeping things to bring before the commission at their upcoming meeting. So let's at least touch on a couple of those.
Yeah, we actually have a pretty full agenda this month. It's mostly the sort of typical land conservation that we do. We focus on trying to purchase properties that accomplish several goals. One of them is to retire development rights, and the other is to preserve important ecological habitats and create conservation lands or expand on our conservation land inventory. So on the agenda on Wednesday, we have a few contracts that are coming, actually several contracts that are coming to our Board of County Commissioners to approve it. And like I said, those are for density reduction and also for conservation lands.
Okay. So speaking of that, how are we with Big Pine? What is the involvement of the Land Authority there with conservation and the endangered species and all of that?
So for many, many years, Big Pine was under sort of a regulatory framework that was set by the Habitat Conservation Plan and the incidental take permit that was associated with that. And those documents have sort of lived their lifetime. They're coming to the end of the incidental take permit. So the county's been working with Fish and Wildlife Service on how to continue into the future in the absence of the plan. And there've been a series of meetings, and essentially what's going to happen is status quo. Even though the permit's going to expire, the county is going to behave pretty much consistently the way that it's been behaving. And the way that it works is that the Habitat Conservation Plan limits the amount of development that can occur on Big Pine and No Name Key, because those areas are so sensitive and contain so many listed species and very important habitats. Not just for the key deer, there's a whole suite of species that rely on the habitats on Big Pine Key. And under the plan, if any development were to occur, most of the mitigation for that development happens in the form of land acquisition, but the land acquisition is done by the Land Authority. So it's been our job for decades to purchase land under the Habitat Conservation Plan and under what was allowed under the incidental take permit. And the Land Authority has been so successful at doing that, we've actually purchased pretty much all of the mitigation that's required under the plan. But even though we've done that, we're going to continue to purchase land out on Big Pine and No Name Key because it's so sensitive.
Yeah, I wonder how Big Pine Key became such a haven for endangered species, and obviously a lot of it will remain undeveloped. But of all the keys, it seems like Big Pine is really the one that is focused upon being habitat for endangered species.
Well, that's because of its size. There's a few islands, including Key Largo. It's not as big as Big Pine, but it is a very long island. Large islands can support more species and more habitats. So that's how that happens, that those areas get to be the most sensitive and need the most protection.
And is it true that the key deer were basically trapped on the island after a land bridge maybe went away decades and eons and centuries ago, and that's how they ended up only on Big Pine Key as opposed to the mainland? Or is there another folklore story?
I don't know. we need Fish and Wildlife Service to answer that question. But they're not just on Big Pine; they're also on the island south of Big Pine.
Yes, but they are
Yeah.
not. They're not on the mainland anywhere else in the world that I'm
No,
aware of, which
they're
is
not on the
very odd.
mainland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and somebody had also told me, and again, I've been here 10 years and I still haven't gotten to the bottom of this story. As a journalist, I should know this by now. But someone else had made the claim that they were a typical deer that have evolved to being a smaller species over many, eons in order to adapt to a smaller habitat.
Yeah, that's definitely true. From an evolutionary sense,
Yeah.
These deer are related to the I think the regular white-tailed deer that you would find on the mainland. It's just they've had to evolve to fit the niche that's available to them.
But
it sounds like you need to invite an FWC or an FWS biologist on board to answer those questions.
Well, yeah, I ask as many people as possible to get a couple of different perspectives, but it's good to know at least we have gotten to the bottom of the question as to why they're small, and at least I feel like I've accomplished that. But yes, FWC would be another good source. I saw one of their officers just yesterday. But we are speaking with Cynthia Guerra, Executive Director, Monroe County Land Authority, on Good Morning Keys, and keeping up with the conservation and the preservation of the lands that you have acquired really is a big job for just a handful of people, one or two, right?
Yeah, we have a small but mighty land stewardship staff that takes care of all the parcels that are purchased once they're acquired. They manage an inventory of about, I think we're running close to 5,000 parcels right now. But they don't do that all on their own. They can hire contractors to help them. And the focus on much of that conservation land is to keep invasive exotic species out and make sure that the native species can thrive. So that's really what they focus on doing.
Yeah. Well, Cynthia, we're always talking about state budgets and funding and DOGE and all that kind of thing. Remind us where the funding comes from for land acquisition and upkeep and the like for the Land Authority, and how, if at all, you are affected by state budget cutbacks and federal grants and the like.
Yeah, so the Land Authority is fortunate to be supported primarily by sources that are not related to our property taxes. Our principal sources of funding are surcharge that is charged for state park entry. So when visitors go to state parks, they pay a little surcharge in Monroe County. That is part of our revenue source. And there's also we get a part of the tourist impact tax that's paid at hotels. So we're not dependent upon the property tax system, which is a really good thing. The place that we get impacted is, for instance, when we try to work with the state of Florida's Department of Environmental Protection Florida Forever program. They're usually a very reliable purchasing partner with us, and we usually work very closely with them. Unfortunately, for fiscal year 26, they didn't receive any funding, except for very limited funding for very specific projects by the legislature. And it looks like that's also happened in 27. So we've lost a major partner in our acquisitions, but we are barging ahead and hoping that, in future years, they can recover some funding and get back to work with us.
Well, and Cynthia, not only providing habitat for wildlife and preserving how the Keys will exist into the future. That's part of what happens as a result of the Land Authority. But also you do get involved with affordable housing projects, providing habitats for humans at times. It's my recollection that you had worked with Habitat for Humanity on a couple of different projects.
Yeah, we have a great relationship with the Habitat chapters in the Florida Keys. And the way it works is that the Land Authority goes out in front to find the parcels for Habitat to build their houses on. And once we've made that purchase, we actually give the land to the county, and the county enters into a long-term lease with Habitat for Humanity to get those houses built and occupied. And that's been something that's been working great for the last 3 or 4 years, certainly since Hurricane Irma. It's been a very robust partnership.
Well, is it safe to say then, were it not for the Land Authority, the Florida Keys might appear quite different as far as development and the like, and maybe not so positively in the outcome, were it not for Land Authority really preserving what we see today?
I think that's fair, and I don't get any credit for that. I've only been with the Land Authority for a couple of years, but the Land Authority has been chugging away for decades and has made an amazing impact on the Keys, protecting very important conservation lands and also providing a lot of affordable housing, supporting a lot of affordable housing, both multifamily and single family residences. So yes, what you said is absolutely true.
Well, that's good, but we'll give you credit for continuing the legacy and the mission of the Land Authority as the Executive Director, Monroe County Land Authority, Cynthia Guerra, with us on Good Morning Keys. And you do also answer to an advisory board, or at least take their advice, which then goes to the Board of County Commissioners. And we thank them for their service. It looks like they have some terms that may be ending this year and into next year. Well, 2 terms do end this year, but that's also how are those persons? Are they appointed, voted? How does that work?
Yeah, we have an advisory committee of citizen volunteers. Mm-hmm. They're appointed by the Board of County Commissioners, acting as our governing board. So it's kind of interesting. At a board meeting, the board will retire as being Board of County Commissioners, and they'll re-adjourn as our governing board, the same 5 people. So they're the ones that ultimately authorize all of our activities. But before any project comes to our governing board, it gets vetted by the citizen committee. And we do have occasional membership turnover in the committee, but we're very fortunate to have always been able to, working with the commissioners, find, suitable volunteers to help us. And a lot of our members are very long-term because they really, know the importance of our work and they want to support our work.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, most certainly, to make the Land Authority what it is. The governing board comprised of a resident of the city of Key West, a resident of the Lower Keys, one of the Middle Keys and the Upper Keys, and a representative of a not-for-profit corporation or association dedicated to the acquisition of land for conservation and preservation purposes. And that board was established in 1986. So as you said earlier, Land Authority has been kind of chugging along for decades. And part of it is due to the volunteerism of the advisory committee. So thanks to those individuals as well. So Cynthia, I think we've presented a pretty good overview here midway through the calendar year. Anyway, is there anything else that we should be highlighting at this particular time?
Well, we're coming up on our budget planning for the upcoming year that starts on October 1st, the county as well. So what folks are going to see is the budget hearings that start in July and end in September. They'll see us plat out our course for the next fiscal year. Indeed.
And the state did at least approve the budget on Friday. It looks like $115 billion. That's going to the governor's desk. He has a couple of weeks to accept that and provide his line item vetoes, which he is pledged to do. But it looks like, for the most part, Land Authority will continue fairly unscathed in that whole process anyway. So, Cynthia, thank you so much for being here this morning and visiting with us, and your leadership in the executive director position, Monroe County Land Authority.
Thank you so much. And I hope you have a great day and wish the same for all your listeners.
Thank you very much, Cynthia. Take care now. It is Cynthia Guerra again. She is executive director, Monroe County Land Authority. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. As mentioned, Florida's 2026-27 state budget, nearly $115 billion, funding education, healthcare, environmental projects, public safety, targeting tax relief and selective employee pay increases. We'll be talking about that as time goes on, but the governor has pledged, I think he had said, about $300 million in line item vetoes. So the process is not yet done. It does look like there are significant investments in education, including the highest per student investment ever, $9,406 per student, $1.56 billion for teacher and instructional personnel salary increases. So we'll see what effects that has. But today, and tomorrow and so on, looking at property tax reform. Now, it looks like the legislature has made some changes to the governor's proposal as they sit in special session. We'll have complete coverage and analysis of that with our guy, Drew Steele. He is going to be live at the state legislature in Tallahassee today. We're going to cover his show from 3 to 6 p.m. He'll have a number of lawmakers on the air with him discussing the property tax reform and, recommendations, put it that way. So we'll talk with and be listening to Drew Steele this afternoon and Florida's Voice exclusively on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. We return with more of Good Morning Keys in just a moment.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready?
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
This is Ollie North for 4-Star Rentals. 4-Star Rentals is the most complete rental store in the Keys. They can provide rental equipment for every do-it-yourself project from your house to your yard. Bobcats, chippers, chainsaws, and tile saws, you name it, they have it. They also deliver throughout the Keys. That's 4-Star Rentals. Model marker 4.5 on Stock Island. These guys are really good. That's 4-Star Rentals. Go see them soon.
Check us out. What Colonel Ollie North says is absolutely true. We're locally owned and operated. We offer a fleet of delivery trucks for fast all-in-one delivery. 4-Star Rentals is the oldest tool rental and party store in the Florida Keys. We make it easy to get that job done for that party or very special event. We're located at mile marker 4.5 in Key West, or just call us and we'll come to you. 4-Star Rentals, 294-7171. That's 294-7171. Remember, Colonel Ollie North never lies.
Historic Pepe's Cafe in Key West, founded in 1909, still does things the old way. Diachronic, if you will. How about fresh squeezed juices? Think how good that margarita or Greyhound will taste. Blue Point oysters shucked to order because oysters work better that way. Fresh breads and outstanding specials in an eatery that opened the same year Ole Evinrude invented the first outboard motor. And get a jump on someone's birthday and check out our retail offerings for some great gift ideas. Pepe's Cafe, Old Town Key West, of course.
Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. We will not continue the conversation we were just having off the air. We're going to get to more serious matters with medical matters. And it's Nikki, the nurse practitioner. Hello, Nikki. How are you?
Good morning, Michael. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much. And Medical Matters brought to you by the Key West Surgical Group Incorporated in Med Spa, 3134 Northside Drive in Key West. Exceptional healthcare close to home. And Nikki, we're going to talk about one of the newest additions at the Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. It's ZERF. It sounds like it's space age.
I know, space age, not to be confused with surf. Can't
No.
surf down here. We don't have enough waves, but you can ZERF.
You
You
can.
can ZERF your skin.
Well, wow. You are animated today. That is a couple.
I don't know why either. I don't know why.
I don't know, but it's good. Yes, Exerf. I'm going to call it Exerf because that's the phonetic spelling. XERF. The science behind skin tightening, how radio frequency really works. So, Key West Surgical Group and Incorporated in Med Spa, you really have been on the cutting edge, so to speak, without cutting people, as to rejuvenating skin and a variety of aesthetic treatments with 3 very advanced lasers that were brought to our fair county by Dr. Rhoda Smith and radio frequency type of treatments. And so we're going to talk about this just a little bit and what the benefits are. But many of us notice as we age skin laxity. So explain that first.
So we talked about collagen and elasticity, and you lose it, especially you lose 10%. I keep saying it, 10% every year after the age of 25. So as we get into our fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth decade of life, we experience skin laxity. So you may look in the mirror and you may notice looser skin around your jawline, your jowls, sagging skin around the cheeks, crepey skin around the eyes, fine lines, wrinkles, loss of firmness in the neck. And these are the things that when people come in to see me, when we talk about laser, why it can help with some of that, it really can't help get deep down and remodel the collagen and elastin that we need to kind of tighten or tauten that up.
Okay. So they ask, can I tighten my skin without surgery? But the answer is yes to a degree, though.
Yes, it is. So to a degree, this new device is radio frequency, which we've talked about radio frequency before with the Potenza, and that was radio frequency with needles. This is needleless. So this is what makes it great in the sense that you don't need to numb for it and it is not as painful. But it's non-surgical skin tightening with radio frequency. So we're going to talk about I kind of based this around the study that they did when they came out with this machine. This is a machine out of Korea. They've been using it in Korea for 3 years. So if you follow skincare in Korea, they're in the know.
Yeah, advanced. They've got the advanced techniques, and
Yes.
we're now bringing them here thanks to the Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. Exceptional care close to home and on the forefront of aesthetic care as well. Dr. Rhoda Smith has been addressing the medical needs in a surgical fashion and everything related to it for many decades, and now bringing very advanced aesthetic techniques to Monroe County. So let's talk about then the goal isn't to damage the skin or to have surgery or even lasers necessarily. It's radio frequency RF.
So, right. The ZERF is radio frequency, mostly known to everybody as RF. It is not a laser. That is a misconception. I get that all the time. You know, when they talk about other devices, they'll say, oh, I had this device. It's actually a radio frequency device, not a laser. Lasers use light energy. Radio frequency uses electrical energy. Think of radio frequency as controlled heat delivered down deeper into the tissues. The goal isn't to damage the skin. The goal is to gently heat specific layers beneath the skin and trigger a healing response.
Interesting. Yeah, you know, RF is also what we refer to in broadcasting coming out of the transmitter, and you've got RF and microwaves and all kinds of stuff. But this is a very specifically applied type of RF that is available in this particular ZERF technique. So why is heat then important in this process?
When we talk about anti-aging, we often talk about the collagen and the lack of it, like I just said. Collagen is the framework that gives your skin the strength and the firmness. So imagine your skin is a mattress. When you're young, the springs are tight and supportive. Over time, those springs weaken. The mattress begins to sag. So what happens to collagen as we age is that everything begins to sag. So radio frequency works by heating the tissue enough to stimulate the body's natural repair process. The body responds by creating new collagen and remodeling older collagen fibers.
Okay. Again, it is Nikki, the nurse practitioner, Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. Exceptional care. Make that close to home, 3134 Northside Drive in Key West. So this study that we're referring to, what did it seek out? What did it find?
So the wavelength or the monopolar, it's monopolar radio frequency, and it is 6.8 megahertz. Huh. So they studied how that affects the human tissue. So Instead of simply taking before and after photographs, they used a sophisticated computer model and microscopic tissue analysis. In other words, they looked beneath the surface to understand what was actually happening inside the skin. So what they found was that radiofrequency can create heat deeper in the tissue layers, but largely protecting the surface of the skin. So this is why this is great down here. There's no downtime. We're not going to damage the surface of your skin. So we're stimulating collagen and elastin without causing any significant damage to the epidermis. The study also demonstrated heating patterns that extend into the areas where collagen fibers and connective tissue structures are located. This is important because this is what makes the skin, this is what creates skin firmness and support. So, I use that house analogy all the time. You're repairing the foundation of the house instead of simply just painting over the cracks on the wall. That's it's I use that analogy all the time, and it's true. You're going in and you're re-strengthening the foundation of your skin.
Very interesting. Well, yes, radio frequency gets very technical, and if you find the right frequencies and apply them properly, they can do wondrous things, and that's what we're talking about with Zerf Technology with Nikki, the nurse practitioner from the Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa, the Fibroseptal Network. Let's talk about what that is, because I have no idea.
It's a big medical term.
Okay.
We'll simplify it. So under your skin, you have tiny connective tissue bands. These bands help support the skin and keep everything organized and lifted. Again, as we age, our support system, these support structures weaken. So radio frequency appears to stimulate the remodeling of these support structures, helping to improve the firmness and tightening.
Okay. But why does tightening take time then?
Oh, because nothing happened. They can't build Rome in a day.
Okay. Yes.
So the answer is because collagen remodeling takes time. 6 to 12 months after you had your procedure, your body is still kicking in to make that new collagen and elastin. You may see some early improvement from collagen contraction with this treatment, and I've had it done twice myself. You will see a lift immediately, but the magic really happens following the weeks and months after your body is actively building new collagen.
Interesting. Well, yeah, and I assume if you rushed it, you would damage, tissue that needs not be damaged and shouldn't be damaged.
Right. You don't want to rush, just like you don't want to rush in building the house. You don't want to rush the repairs to fix it either. You want things to happen and occur naturally. So I tell people collagen is like planting a garden. You don't plant the seeds today and it doesn't flower tomorrow. You have to water them, you have to take care of them, and you just have to wait. And eventually you will see good results.
Yeah. Well, good results they are. Speaking with Nikki, the nurse practitioner, Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. And, and you'd mentioned, Nikki, that you had some of these procedures done to yourself. And you actually, true story, I think you look younger than when I first met you years and years ago.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, got that glow.
That's the goal.
Well, it's working. And again, just to qualify, not that it was bad before, but yeah, you're reversing the aging process right there. So who's a good candidate, though, besides yourself for a procedure such as Zerf?
So people that have mild to moderate skin laxity, early jowling, fine lines and wrinkles, crepey skin, aging around the eyes, and neck laxity. Neck laxity is a big one. People come in and talk to me all the time. They're okay with their face, but they're really concerned they feel like their neck is showing their age more than their faces. The neck is kind of neglected. We spend so much time on our face because that's what we see in the mirror every day. We're focused on that, and that's what we think everybody else sees. Nobody's really staring at your neck. But then they'll look at their neck and they'll say, I have a lot of neck laxity. So this is one of the main concerns when people come in to talk to me. Now, patients with severe skin laxity will see results, but again, they still may benefit from surgery. So these are for people that either cannot go under surgery for whatever reason, or they just can't afford it, or they don't want to, and they want to improve the tautness and tightness of the skin, or anybody who has those, mid signs of aging, or that they're really starting to notice a decline in their skin tautness, this is a great treatment for you. And it's without incisions, anesthesia, or significant downtime. So it's really a great procedure that can be done here in the Keys all year long. Just need to protect your skin with SPF,
Okay.
as we always say.
Yeah. And it is interesting too. The neck is apparent when people, you see celebrities, et cetera, and they've had a lot of work done, but their neck it is obviously been neglected. That's an interesting point that people don't necessarily think about, but these types of procedures address all of those needs. So SMAs, it's
SMAS. You can call it SMAS.
SMAS. Okay.
Yes, and it's got I didn't even put the medical term for it because it makes supercalifragilisticexpialidocious look
That was good.
small. No, they're about the same. It's a little bit smaller, but it's hard to pronounce. So we'll just call it the SMAS. The reason I bring this up is if you go on social media right now, Zerf is all over the internet. Kim Kardashian had it. Jenna Dewan had it. A whole bunch of people have had it. So they're talking about the SMAS layer of the skin. It is a deeper support layer beneath the skin. And as collagen within these supporting structures break down, the sagging skin becomes more noticeable. So radiofrequency helps stimulate remodeling in the SMAS, in the deeper tissues, encouraging the body to rebuild support over time. The reason why patients often see gradual lifting and tightening rather than immediate dramatic change, this is where this occurs.
Okay. So how can you protect your collagen then? Treatment's only part of the equation, but you have to preserve collagen as well.
So avoid smoking, stay hydrated. The one thing with this device is it has impedance, so it'll detect whether your skin is hydrated or not. So the best benefit out of it is to stay hydrated. Eat adequate protein, get enough sleep, manage your stress, and maintain a healthy lifestyle. You cannot out-treat poor collagen habits. Okay. So daily choices matter.
They do. We talk about that all the time. Can radiofrequency be combined with other treatments, though? There's a good question. Most
definitely. So the one thing about radiofrequency and when we talk about laser, the reason why we combine them, radiofrequency is this device is strictly for collagen and elastin building. So if you have other concerns with texture, skin pigmentation, all the things that we talk about, that is where lasers come in. We can even do microneedling with this, PRP or PRF, which is taking your own blood, spitting it down, getting platelet good plasma, and applying that to your skin. Lasers, medical grade skincare, neuromodulators, those are the Botox and fillers. Botox and fillers. So yes, the answer is yes. It can be combined with any type of pretty much laser or microneedling procedure, and you will then target everything, your pigmentation, your texture, and your laxity.
Okay. So one question apparently you get a lot is, will radiofrequency melt my facial fat? So how do you respond to that?
So yes, there has been a lot of concern around radiofrequency. There have been certain devices out on the market that had been known to melt the fat because the tissues were heated for a specific period of time. So that is a question that I get, and it is a reasonable concern. But over the last few years, there's been a lot of discussion about facial fat loss. So most people think that aging is only about wrinkles and loose skin, but it's only part of the story. So as we get older, we naturally lose collagen. We have skin laxity. The facial fat isn't a bad thing. It helps give your face that youthful shape. So when we lose that volume when we lose that fat, we're worried about it. You have sagging. So with this device, they have in the study, it has protected the adipose tissue. It has prevented fat loss. So it is stimulating collagen and elastin without targeting the fat. So it's not like its competitors where in the past they've had issues with fat loss.
Okay. So according to this, then in modern aesthetics, successful rejuvenation isn't about making the face thinner. It's improving skin quality, restoring support, preserving natural volume, makes us look healthy and refreshed. There is a difference there.
Yes, it is. And I mean, there are skin laxity and volume loss are two different aging processes. So when you find a treatment plan that's able to encompass everything, you're going to get a better result.
Okay, so we are talking about Zerf, which is available at the Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa, one of the many advances in aesthetics available at the Key West Surgical Group and Med Spa with Dr. Rhoda Smith and her expert staff. Final thoughts then?
So I really enjoyed this study. I felt like it was great in explaining radio frequency. I hope this helped, for our listeners, they can understand what non-invasive radio frequency is so that we can stimulate that collagen and elastin without you having to go under the knife to get your tautness. Unfortunately, there's no treatment that can stop aging, but we can slow it down. So that's how I tell people, if you come in and you start today, you're slowing down the progression of your aging. If you do nothing, you're going to continue to age at the rate that you're aging at.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
So healthy skin isn't about perfection. It's about consistency, protection, and patience. And collagen rebuilding is possible. I always say pigment is pesky, but collagen is coachable.
There you go. Nikki, the nurse practitioner, Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa, 3134 Northside Drive in Key West, with exceptional care close to home and a full suite of aesthetic treatments available to you with advanced lasers and now Zerf as well, to find out how you can benefit from the expertise and the technology available at Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. You can call them at 305-294-1041. Go on to keywestsurgicalgroup.com as well to learn more, or just inquire about a free consultation, and they'll be able to tell you how those many combined technologies and treatments can benefit you in your quest to slow the aging process.
That is correct. And just a really quick note, we're having a small VIP event and there's still some spots available this Thursday at 5:30.
Oh.
So just call the office. You can inquire about it and give us an RSVP. And it's going to be all about Zerf. We'll explain everything, kind of what I explained just now, but there'll be more visuals to go along with it.
Excellent. Thursday at 5:30 it is. And call the office to reserve just a couple of spots left for the VIP exhibition, put it that way, of Zerf. And what's the word I'm searching for now? It just totally lost me. But demonstration, that's it. Absolutely. 305-294-1041. And with that, Nikki, we wish you a very good day and great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
As always.
Yes. Talk to you soon. See you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Nursey. Oh my gosh.
Nursey.
I wanted to say
I am Nursey.
it's Nursey.
I'm Nursey today.
I combined Nikki the nurse practitioner. I just made it all one. It's Nursey. Oh, that's terrible. All right. Well, have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Nikki the nurse practitioner is with us. Holy crow. It is good morning to you. This is Good Morning Keys. We're back in a moment, I think.
Let's talk trash. I'm Taylor Conrath, and my family's been taking care of your family's trash for years. In fact, we've operated Marathon Garbage Service and kept the Middle Keys clean since my great-grandpa, John Conrath, founded the company in 1950. That's a lot of years talking trash and hauling trash. And these days, we take care of your family's recyclables in addition to commercial and residential waste removal. The Conrath family and our entire team of great employees takes pride in keeping our community clean, from the north end of the 7 Mile Bridge to Craig Key. Now it's my generation of Conraths working together with my grandfather and my dad to continue the tradition and commitment started in 1950 at Marathon Garbage Service. The Conrath family is always there for your family. If you need to talk trash, just call us at 305-743-5165. That's 305-743-5165. Or visit us at 4290 Overseas Highway in Marathon and online at marathongarbageservice.com.
Step back in time Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold delicious ground coffee always brewing and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in-store with 24 hours advance notice. And enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in-store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. OldTownBakeryKeyWest.com.
Your home is your castle, your sanctuary. Rack Advanced Control brings together the electrical and smart technology that make your home comfortable, secure, and effortless to live in. Imagine music flowing seamlessly through every room, beautiful lighting that adjusts to your lifestyle, motorized shades, climate control, and energy management all working together automatically. From integrated audio and video systems to discrete security cameras and professional electrical services, Rack Advanced Control designs and installs technology that works in perfect harmony. Originally founded in California, Rack Advanced Control has over 20 years of experience serving the luxury residential market and was honored as a 2024 Lutron Excellence Award Integrator. Now with an office in Key West, Florida, Rack brings world-class smart home design and electrical expertise to the Florida Keys. Make your home smarter, safer, and more enjoyable to live in. Call 786-647-9647 or visit rackav.com. Rack Advanced Control. Intelligent luxury, expertly installed.
This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys. No major incidents to report up and down US 1. That is good news. And also, we are on our way to another pretty warm day, but we're going to have some rain coming our way for sure into Thursday, starting tomorrow even. 60% chance of rain Thursday, 70% chance of rain. And we're going to say good morning to Rahulio Hernandez. He's Director of Transportation, Key West Transit, City of Key West. Good morning to you, Rahulio.
Good morning, Michael, and good morning to your listeners.
And yes, and we talk about the traffic conditions throughout the show on a fairly consistent basis, and we have you and your entire team to thank for helping keep congestion and traffic down in the city of Key West and constantly moving forward with new solutions for traffic and for transporting our citizens and visitors, whether it's the workforce shuttle or the lower key shuttle, Key West Rides on Demand. A lot of different options are available at kwtransit.com for our visitors and our residents to get around the island.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're excited to actually talk about launching our latest enhancement, our ADA complimentary paratransit service, which will start on June 29th.
Yes. Well, Rahulio, I know you had a workshop that you gathered some information from the public, took that public input, and we will be launching that new service on June 29th. So as I understand it, you got some great feedback from the public.
Yeah, we did. The attendance wasn't as great as we thought it was going to be, but the amount of feedback we did receive for those that attended was great. It helped a lot, and we were also able to provide the information that was much needed. So the Key West Transit ADA Complimentary Paratransit Service, I know it's kind of a long name here, will provide shared rides, curb-to-curb transportation, similar to the Key West rides, except that we will be doing curb-to-curb as opposed to bus stop to bus stop. Now, that service is for those individuals with disabilities that prevent them from using the fixed route buses. The service can be used for any trips, because I know there's been some questions about that, if it's just for medical appointments, but it's not. It's for work, shopping, recreational use. And we're excited to be implementing that here at the end of the month on June 29th.
That is exciting. It's Rahulio Hernandez with us, speaking from Key West Transit. He's Director of Transportation in the City of Key West on Good Morning Keys. So specifically then, the ADA complimentary paratransit service launches June 29th. And is that an on-demand service, or is it a particular schedule?
So the way it works, there is eligibility process, which I'll touch base here shortly, but it won't be on demand. Riders will have to schedule in advance. They can actually schedule 14 days in advance. But normally what would happen is before 5 o'clock the previous day, a rider may call and book a ride for next day service.
Okay.
And not just by calling, but they can also book it via email as well, too.
Okay. Julio Hernandez, Director of Transportation, City of Key West. You can learn more about the paratransit service as well as all of the other options available for Key West Transit at kwtransit.com. So as you said, June 29th is the launch date. And what is the eligibility process that you had mentioned?
Yep. So the eligibility process is required to enroll in the ADA Complimentary Paratransit Service. Applications will be available beginning June 8th. So again, June 8th, Monday. So this Monday coming up. And it will be available online at kwtransit.com. They can also pick it up in person or request a copy of the application via email at kwdot@cityofkeywest-fl.gov or even by mail as well. So once that application is filled out, we will go ahead and process and provide a response if they meet eligibility or not within 21 days.
Oh, very good. And it will provide curb-to-curb transportation by reservation within 3/4 of a mile of existing bus routes, mirror fixed route service hours as well. So a great expansion of the options available for transit throughout the city of Key West, provided by Key West Transit. And again, more can be found at kwtransit.com. Speaking with Julio Hernandez, Director of Transportation at Key West Transit, on Good Morning Keys. And the Key West Rides on Demand, that continues to set new records, does it not?
It does, to the point where we're getting so many requests and we're unable to meet the demand. So we're in a tricky position here. We first started off the service in order to replace our underutilized routes during the pandemic period.
Yes.
And now we're to the point where we're unable to meet the demands. We're getting over 500 and so ride requests each day.
Wow.
So with that being said, we're actually looking at bringing back fixed routes. We're actively listening to the community and our riders, and we've been analyzing that data from our Key West Ride service. And we're building a system that works best for everyone based off of that ridership data we collected. So we're hoping to bring back a fixed route network that's designed to meet our residents and riders' needs. But as of right now, the Key West Ride service is available along with our fixed route workforce route. That can help during those periods where we're unable to meet the demand on the Key West rides.
Well, it certainly is a good thing to have people demanding the service and needing the service. It points to the fact that your transportation options are very valued and necessary in our community. Again, speaking with Julio Hernandez, Director of Transportation, Key West Transit, on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the entire Keys. The workforce shuttle as well, that continues to be very well utilized.
It is. So, it operates, 7 days a week, especially during those peak times in the morning where people are trying to get to work. It operates between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. And like you said, it's definitely heavily utilized.
Yeah. And Lower Keys Shuttle providing transportation up through the Lower Keys to Marathon. That, again, then links with the Dade Monroe Express all the way up to the mainland. But Lower Keys Shuttle is utilized each and every day by a number of our residents who rely upon it to get up and down throughout the Lower Keys to Key West.
Absolutely. And the county and the city are both working together and possibly looking at adding additional trips on the Lower Keys Shuttle. So that's something to hopefully keep in mind of and look forward to the future.
Yeah. Well, Julio, you had kind of hinted at future projects and future developments, whether it's the ADA Complimentary paratransit service launching June 29th, or other expansion of services. So what do you have on the plate looking through the future as far as future projects?
Yeah, so we've upgraded an onboard point of sale system known as the fare boxes with the latest technology. So soon riders will be able to pay using their credit card and debit card, along with mobile tap to pay and more on board the buses. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, indeed. Well, there's a lot of advances happening, and KW Transit always looking for ways to help in our community and get our residents and our visitors to and fro throughout the island. You can go to kwtransit.com to learn more. You can also find out where the current buses are located and headed to, and a lot of other options available at kwtransit.com. Rogelio Hernandez, he's Director of Transportation, City of Key West and Key West Transit on Good Morning Keys. Rogelio, there's a lot going on there in your department. We appreciate your leadership and your dedication and that of all of your personnel in helping provide transportation solutions in our community. Is there anything else, though, that we should be aware of at this time?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I look forward to our next session next month, where I'll provide additional projects and statuses on those.
Absolutely. We're always happy to get the word out and spread the good word about KW Transit, Key West Transit. And again, go to kwtransit.com to learn more about the Lower Keys Shuttle, the Key West Rides on Demand, the Workforce Shuttle, and now the ADA complimentary paratransit service coming on June 29th. And our conversation will continue again as we learn more about the advances happening at Key West Transit. Thank you so much for being here this morning, Rogelio.
Thank you, Michael. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. We will talk very soon. It is Rogelio Hernandez, Director of Transportation, Key West Transit. Again, go to kwtransit.com to learn more about all of the options, including the Workforce Shuttle, Lower Keys Shuttle, Key West Rides on Demand, and the upcoming ADA complimentary paratransit service. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the entire Keys. We've got all the heavy hitters of talk radio coming up in just a few moments. Also, we will have live coverage from Tallahassee and from the legislature as they continue to deliberate property tax reform as proposed by the governor. It has had some changes in the proposals put forth already, but we'll be hearing all the latest developments directly from the lawmakers. And Drew Steele reporting live from the Capitol here this afternoon on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. We always have breaking news as soon as it happens. Local, state, national news updated at least every half hour. Weather around the clock. It's all on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the entire Keys. Thank you for listening.